Danger Zone.
Okay, good afternoon YouTube. It is the 29th of June 2014. Breaking news coming out of the Middle East today. I don't know quite what to make of this, but it was quite big news, I believe, in the Muslim world, because ISIS, the entity that we have seen sweeping through Iraq and Syria, that's where it started off, folks. They've basically now come out and they've said that they are changing their name from ISIS to just IS, the Islamic State. Now they are claiming that the territories from Iraq's Diyala province to Syria's Aleppo, they are claiming that that is now a new Islamic State. They are calling that the new Caliphate. They've removed Iraq and Levant from their name, and they've urged other Sunni radical groups to pledge their allegiance. Now, ISIS have also said that their leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, is now they've declared him the leader of the Muslim world. And they're basically saying that as the Caliph of the new state and the leader of Muslims everywhere, everyone should now be following al-Baghdadi. And it's the first time since the fall of the Ottoman Empire in 1923 that a Caliph, which means a political successor to the Prophet Muhammad, has been declared. The decision was made following the group's Shura Council meeting on Sunday, according to ISIS spokesman Abu Muhammad al-Adnani. Now this news is breaking on RT and another couple of news channels, folks. But what do you make of that? Al-Baghdadi is now claiming to be the leader of the Muslim world. Who knows? I was looking at one report coming out of Iraq today, and it said that it was Sky News that were reporting that basically the Iraqi forces had ousted ISIS, or IS as they're now calling themselves. They'd ousted ISIS out of Tikrit. Now, when they went on to talk about this battle in depth, the battle for Tikrit as they were calling it, they were saying there was rumours of up to 60 radical Islamist fighters killed. Now, let's just sit and think about that then, folks. Here we have this massive force that is sweeping through Iraq, or so we've been told, so we've been led to believe. And I'm not saying that they aren't real, okay, but just bear with me here. You're trying to tell me that only 60 fighters were left to hold an entire city, and they did so up until now, and it took the full force of the Iraqi military to remove 60 people, or at least it was 60 people left dead. And if there was only 60 people killed, folks, and there are these large ISIS numbers, how much of a real victory is that for the Iraqi forces? Because it only stands to reason that obviously all these other fighters that were in there have now just fled the city, gone to regroup somewhere else, and by the looks of it, they're all working on this really, really glossy, well-produced social media campaign that they've got going on in tandem with the bloodshed and mayhem that they're spreading across the region. Now, on the bigger picture, I really don't know where this is going to lead to. I don't see any British troops going back in there. I really don't. I don't think we've got the numbers to get involved back in there again, and it would only add fuel to the fire, in my opinion. And I think probably Britain and America right now, and especially Israel, are quite happy with the way things are going, because the region is descending into mayhem, even more mayhem than we're used to seeing in the Middle East. And Netanyahu hasn't hidden his desire for it to descend further into mayhem, because as all these different factions of the Muslim communities, the Shias, the Sunnis, as they all fight each other, and then you've got these, is it Tafriqis and the Wahhabists, they're basically the ones who are ISIS. If they're all fighting amongst each other, who are they leaving alone? They're leaving Israel alone, and that's why it suits Israel just fine. And that's why you'll probably find that Britain and America, who were funding and training these guys when they were in Syria under the banner of ISIL, before they even went to Syria, they were funded by Saudi, ourselves, America, and they were actually in training camps in, I believe it was Qatar at the time, Qatar or Jordan, one of the two. But yeah, so folks, just in summing up, I'm at work, obviously can't spend too long here, you know, skiving and that. ISIS have now rebranded themselves, and they are now IS. They just, why? Because they are. The IS, the Islamic State, and the first ever successor politically, or since 1932 anyway, to the Prophet Muhammad, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Don't let his name be lost on you either, folks, because it just so happens after the Prophet Muhammad did die, the first caliphate after that was led by a guy called who? Abu Bakr. Are we even seeing some end times kind of stuff coming up here? I'm not a religious man myself, but eschatology and the end times fascinates me. Are we going to be seeing this kind of thing? Are they trying to play out some kind of coming of the Mahdi over in the Muslim world? Interesting times. So folks, you have a nice night. Take care. If there's anything else happens, I'll bring it to you.